Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We will also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 190 of my journey. At the beginning of the year this year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is only my second year ever running. Within the first full year of running, at the age of 31, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days out of the year in 2020. This year's goal of 365 days and 1,500 miles is a 100% step up in the amount of days, not to mention in a row with no days off, as well as a 50% step up in the amount of miles opposed to last year's 1,002 miles, this year being 1,500. So, two big step-ups from last year, and not to mention, I also decided to really step it up by challenging myself to run two big major races within this time frame of the year. One being a 50K ultra marathon trail race in Yankee Springs, Michigan. I was able to actually get that finished on June 5th, 2021. Got it done in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds, so I'm officially an ultra runner. Not the best time, but now I have a bar set. So really excited to get signed up for my next ultra. Other than that, though, that ultra will be in 2022. The other race I have entailed for this year in 2021 during this 365-day challenge is the Detroit Free Press Marathon, and I am actually doing the Motor City Challenge in that race, which means the day before the actual marathon, I'll be running the competitive 1 mile and the 5K, and then the following day after those races, I'll be running the actual marathon. That is in October. I'm really looking forward to that race as well. That race is normally a race that goes across the border into Canada and then back through the tunnel into Detroit to end. But with COVID this year, I think they've officially, it's going to be an in-person race, and it's going to be in Detroit officially as of now. But if restrictions get uplifted a little bit closer to the event, we might actually be able to go into Canada, which is what I was really looking forward to. So fingers crossed, hopefully we can get to run into Canada during this race. So other than that, those are the two big races that I had entailed for this year during this big challenge of miles. So, like I said, today was day 190 as well in a row of running. So let's talk about the miles. So today I was able to actually get out there yet again for the 190th day in a row. And today I put in 5 miles for the day. That put me at 27.9 miles for the week, which put me at 53.6 miles for the month, which put me at 854.7 miles for the year. Real quickly, let's focus on these monthly miles. So, every single month, I challenge myself to a 100-mile challenge, and I do that in honor of a charity in which I donate money, and I also start a coinciding fundraiser to try to raise money and awareness for that charity throughout the month. So the first 6 months, we were able to raise money for 6 great charities. Now we're sitting here in the 7th month, the month of July. And for the month of July, we're raising money for the Detroit Phoenix Center. And what they focus on is they help the Detroit youth homeless within the Detroit area find homes, jobs, help them take showers and hygiene and get cleaned up to go, to go back to school, get an education, a whole bunch of all different things, because it's all different ages, but it's any of the youth homeless within the Detroit area, they really help out to try to get rehabilitated and back on their feet, and really help them get their life back in order because, again, they're homeless. They have nothing really to help them out, so they really need this charity is a really good, and this cause is a really good thing where they help these kids out within this area. So if this is something you were really looking to try to donate into something like this, and you are from the Detroit area, or maybe you're not from the Detroit area, but you would still like to help out, this is a great cause. If you would like to donate to this month's cause, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story, or my personal page's Facebook story. Within those stories, at the very top of the story, it'll say donate on Facebook. You click on that, it'll open up another page where you're able to make your donations. All donations that get made go directly to this fundraiser. Facebook does not take any portion of your donations. That is why we continue to do these fundraisers through Facebook, because they've made the agreement not to take any cut of the donations. All donations that get made go directly to the actual charity and the cause. That being said, though, I do know times are tough. Not everyone can afford to donate. But one thing you can do, and you want to help out, the best thing you can do is just click that share button, share this fundraiser on your page. It doesn't hurt to share it. If you don't want to put it on your actual personal page, you could share it to your stories. It stays there for 24 hours. It disappears. Maybe add it every other day, every couple days. But the point is we're trying to really get as many eyes on this fundraiser, not just to raise money, but to raise awareness, to get people to understand what this fundraiser is about and what these fundraisers are about through each month. Like, we want to just get eyes on these fundraisers so people can understand what they're about, what the cause is. And then maybe if they can't afford to donate now, maybe they'll just see it and they'll be put in the back of their mind. So when they are able to donate, they'll go, wait, I remember that one fundraiser from a while back that was being ran by someone. Let's look up that charity. Let's donate to that charity. And maybe, yes, they don't get this donation right now, but maybe you put it in their mind and a donation comes in later. The whole point is we're trying to raise awareness and money for these causes. So click that share button, guys. Put it on your story. Put it on your page. Do whatever you can to really get it out there. Other than that, if you've made a donation, do the same thing. Still click it. It really helps out. Let's just try to raise awareness and money for these causes throughout this year. We already did 6 months. This is the 7th month for the month of July. Detroit Phoenix Center, guys. Let's raise some money and awareness for them here in the month of July. Now, we talked about, monthly miles. We're at 53.6, so we're over halfway through. Done with the 100-mile challenge, so we're only 9 days in. This one will probably be hopefully finished before the 20th. Let's see if I can get that done. If we can get it done before the 20th. I'm going to try to go ham this month on some miles. Go maybe the most I've ever put in is 150, and that was, I think, in March or April. Then I think May I put in 140, 145. So the most I put in is right around there. Let's see if I can push that a little bit here in July in this hot, humid month. We're already at 50 at 9 days, so that's a pretty good. If there's 30 days, I think there's 31 days. I'm not even sure. I should probably know that, but there is 31 days. So tomorrow is 1/3 through, and I can get. Tomorrow I plan on putting another 5 in, so I'll at least be 30 for the month. Put another 5 in. I will be pretty close to 60 miles. So 60, 120, I can maybe get 180. That'd be insane. It's 300K right there. That's something I've actually wanted to do. That is on the agenda. I don't know. I'm babbling now. We're just getting lost and not even talking about the episode because I'm just daydreaming. Maybe that should be today's episode, daydreaming about miles. No, but we're going to actually talk about today's episode. So before we get into today's episode, real quickly, I've been meaning to. The whole point was try to read more to become a better speaker, just become a better reader in general, because reading is something that never was easy for me and to me. And it's something I think I can get better at. I need to put more time into it. So I've been trying to read more, but sadly, yet again, I did not read. So I can't talk about the book that I had been reading, which is Beyond Order by Jordan Peterson, the second book in his 12 Rules for Life series. So that is what I was reading. Hopefully I'll get a little bit tonight. Hopefully maybe tomorrow. My dad actually has came up though to visit I don't know. We'll see. And then I got I haven't even really talked about it on the podcast, but I'm doing a 7-Eleven challenge coming up here on actual 7-Eleven July 11th. Usually 7-Eleven every year on 7-Eleven they give away free Slurpees. I don't think they're doing that this year. Of course, the year I'm going to do my 7-Eleven challenge, so I'm going to have to probably buy Slurpees. But I decided to do a challenge to try to kind of get involved with the corporation world of 7-Eleven. I try to challenge it and just put it out there on the Instagram and the social media that I'm doing a 7-Eleven challenge, and it entails me running 11 miles throughout these cities around here to hit 7 different 7-Elevens. And at each 7-Eleven, I'm going to stop and get a Slurpee to fuel my 11 miles. So that is the 7-Eleven challenge that will be happening here on 7-Eleven. So there'll be 11 miles coming up here in 2 days on 192. But other than that, 7-Eleven challenge, and other than me supposed to be reading, let's get back to the episode. But before that, the last thing is we do a word of the day to try to help me expand my vocabulary and just become more literate. So the word of the day is, I'm probably going to butcher this, so aleatory. And it's either aleatory or aleatory. Depending on an uncertain event or contingency as to both profit and loss. Relating to luck, and especially to bad luck. Characterized by chance or indeterminate elements. Aloric. Aleatory. That is the word of the day. So I'm going to really have to get in there and after this episode look up a little bit more about this word. Kind of like it. So that is the word of the day. Let's get into today's episode 190, ladies and gentlemen. 190 days, 190 episodes. That was the point of this podcast too, was to become a better speaker and to just put it out there and talk about the things that I've been really trying to improve on in my life throughout this journey of me doing the running and turning my life around. I started running at a very, very late age of 31. So it wasn't like I was ripe and prime to really get out there and start running. So putting in these big miles in the journey of doing it, as well as really just trying to become a better person. Because there's plenty of things other than just my health and my physical ability that I need to be working on. So that's what this podcast is about. And like I said, speaking and doing these podcasts is that. So for today, day 190, today's episode, its theme is appreciate. Now, what's funny is I didn't write down why today's podcast it was about appreciate, because in my mind I was so locked in why I wanted to talk about it. I didn't even put any little notes down, and now I'm completely brain farting. But we're going to talk about it because it's something that over these past 2 years of running and of really focusing on changing my life. And I want to really put two and two. I want to really tie these two together of me changing my life and my running, because they both happened at the same time. It was kind of a revelation I had where I realized I need to change my life. I need to change my attitude. And I really need to work on myself every single day. Health, mental, and just my overall personality, everything. I need to focus on becoming a better person overall every single day. So when I talk about my running and my overall changing, when I talk about 2 years ago and really starting it, they both coincide because they both came together as a package. So I really started to appreciate life more in general when I started to do this, when I started to really want to, instead of not necessarily blame everyone else for my problems, but just not take on the responsibility or the accountability myself, or not be up for the actual challenge to really push myself beyond the limits that I set for myself. I set these limits and I just never push myself beyond them. And really, this past year, I've really learned to appreciate so much. And part could be because of the running, and yes, part of it could be because I have experienced so many different things throughout these past few years, from the death of my pet, who I love dearly, having to put her down, which was a really horrible time, to the birth of my daughter, which was such a great time, to running my race. And there's just so many different things that really happened throughout the year that really, when I look back on it, there was happiness, there was sadness, but I've never felt so grateful and so appreciative for everything that I have been given and everything that I have in my life. I'm so grateful for it. And I know, for the longest time, I lived taking everything for granted, not really realizing. I think I had that mentality that we all have as a child for the longest time, of not really understanding or grasping the idea of death, of really understanding that one day it's just going to be over. I mean, there's a great possibility there's a heaven. There's a great possibility there's not a heaven. Like, I don't know, and I have my beliefs, and I'm going to live my life accordingly to those beliefs. But does anyone truly know? No, we have like I said, we have our beliefs, and we have, we know in our hearts, our personal hearts, what we believe and what we feel. I understand that, but does anyone actually have an answer that we can go by? No, we don't truly know, and that's a scary, scary thing. And I think it's something that we really suppress maybe for a long time. And then even as a kid, I think until some things really start happening, until real life things start happening to you, like maybe friends passing, or relatives passing, or things that really wake you up to the idea that life is short, and to really try to take in every single day and really appreciate every single day. And even before these past 2 years, things had happened where it kind of really woke me up to the idea, but I was almost paralyzed in the idea of not taking advantage of these days that I have. And that's actually what I wanted to talk about. And now, see, just talking about being appreciative of things, that is the main reason why I wanted to talk about appreciate, because there were so many days that I lived where I had the capability of doing so much more, and I did not take advantage of those days. I wasted so many days, and there's so many people throughout history and throughout life right now that would kill for an opportunity that I have. Just the opportunity I have of the freedom to be able to go out there and make a certain decision, or the freedom to go out there and say whatever I want to say. There's countries right now, and there's places right now, even in this own country, there's people right now who don't have opportunities, and the opportunities that I'm even given. And really, when all these things start happening these past 2 years, and I really start delving deep and really wanting to become a better person and trying to focus on myself and focus on my flaws, I start to really understand that I'm not being appreciative of each and every single day that I am just gifted, because life is short and one day it's going to be over. And not even just over, but right now, like I said, I am pushing. I'm about to be 33 now. I started running officially at the age of 31. I waited until I was 31 to really start taking my health seriously. And yeah, when I was younger and a teenager, I played hockey and I did all that. But then from then on, it was just about partying, drugs, alcohol, and just meeting up with friends and going hopping from party to party. Like, that's all that mattered, and that's all that I cared about. And it was never about taking care of my body. And now I'm 31 and I'm looking back at these past 10 years. I'm looking and I'm thinking, where the hell did these 10 years go? Like, time is going by so fast, and I want to. That's what happened. Is I had, like that I said, an epiphany, an awakening, where I really started thinking, like, I need to take advantage, and I need to live every single day, so by the end of the night I can appreciate that single day. I can appreciate the day when I wake up in the morning and be grateful that I woke up, but I also need to live every day to its fullest, so that I know that I took advantage of every single day, and that I appreciate it, and that everything that I am granted and gifted, that I'm really getting out there and putting it in my all, and I'm not wasting precious time that I'm just taking for granted, because time is money. And I have nothing, honestly, I have nothing against video games. I think they can be great. And certain people make money from them. It's a job. I get it. Some people can make money, and I understand it. But for me and for certain people, I think it's actually probably a bad thing. I think, like I said, I just think it's a really time suck for me, especially. I guess I don't know other people, but I think other people will eventually get to that point that I got to. Maybe not, but even just the little bit of video games that I was playing, I would notice I'd play for 8-9 hours a day on my days off. I would waste my whole entire day, basically my day off, most of my days off, playing video games. And then even when I would work, I'd come home and I'd have like 3-4 hours before I'd have to go to bed, and like all those hours, and even into the middle of the night, staying up later than I should have, is like playing video games. And then you do that every night for so long, years are just going to go by, and you're going to look back and you're going to have no, I was having no life experiences. I wasn't like, yeah, I was talking to people online and doing stuff like that, but I had no actual memories of interactions with other people, life to life, touch to touch. Like, it was just something that made me really question myself. Like, I'm not taking advantage of my days if I'm spending them playing video games every single day. And like I said, I get some people make money from it, and I understand it's some people's escape, and I don't doubt it, and I don't hate it. But for me, myself, and if for someone who maybe when they hear the story of what happened to me thinks, hey, that kind of sounds like something I was going through, or I am currently going through, maybe that's it too. Maybe you need to put down the video game. But either way, I don't want to take this episode into just straight video game land. I don't care if you play video games. That's what you're about. That's what you're about. For me, it's not my thing. I just noticed that it was something that was really sucking away my time from really getting out there, taking advantage of the day, and really appreciating everything that is given to me. I do still have my health, so I really appreciate that I have it, and I want to make sure that I keep it. So I'm going to get out there every single day and try to work on it and improve it and get it better. And I know one thing, a lot of people maybe don't have their health and don't have the ability to really get out there every day and work out. And I understand that. I get that. But I do also want to emphasize that every single day you put off working on your health, every single day it doubles on getting harder to get back your health. And kind of what I mean by that is just even with just getting in shape, the hardest part about me doing all this was getting into shape. And then once I got into shape, after the first couple, like 4 or 5 months of really putting in the running, it kind of getting through the injury. Yeah, I had a few injuries here and there too, but now it's pretty much my body's kind of pretty much adjusted. I'm pretty good in shape. It feels good now when I work out. Yes, I still strain a little bit and still get sore. That is a workout, but compared to when I started, I can definitely tell the difference. And I know, like I said, not everyone can just go out there and work out right away, and they can't just put in all the days and all the hours. But I just want to emphasize that the longer you wait to try to get your life in order, or the longer you wait to try to get back in shape, whatever the case may be, if whatever it is you think that you may need to do to really take advantage of your days and to really appreciate and value everything that you've been given in this life, the longer you wait to take advantage of that and to really try to start taking your life and putting it in order, the harder it is going to get, and by tenfold. And I literally mean it by like every single day you wait, it gets harder times two. And then the next day gets harder times two by that. Two by that. So what started as one day times one hard, the next day turned to times two hard. The next day turned to times four hard. The next day turns to times 8 hard. It just incrementally goes up on a scale, okay? It's just going to continually just go up on a graph, a nice little curve, okay? I guess not even a curve, probably just like a straight line up, okay? And it's going to get harder and harder and harder until whatever it is, working out, doesn't have to be working out. Whatever it is just that you are doing, that you are aiming for in your life, that you are trying to really readjust and get back on track, the longer you wait, the harder it is. But the first time you start to get it back in order and you start to really work on yourself, it's gonna still be hard. It's not gonna be easy, like I said to begin with, but it's gonna go down. You are going to turn the uphill battle every single day, where it just gets harder and harder and harder. Okay, you wait here, this day is this hard, 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 but you start on this day, then instead of the next day it being this hard, it's gonna again go down by half. So then it's gonna go down to here, so I'm gonna go down by 2. Be like that. Okay, and then the next day you work a little bit harder, it goes down by 4. Okay, but then you take another day off. Well, then it goes back up by 2. Okay, it's only going to get easier, harder, and it all depends on whatever days you are taking on or taking off or putting effort into whatever it is that you truly need to do. So I just wanted to talk about appreciate, because it's something that I truly have found this past year. I found to really appreciate a lot of things in life, especially, like I said, just getting out there on a day-to-day basis, just getting out there and seeing outside every single day, even for the days that it was only 15 minutes or 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but just being out there, getting fresh air, weathering whatever it is, snow, rain, cold weather, hot weather, humidity, like getting out there and just breathing the air and being part of the day. And it just makes me appreciate life so much more. Being a father makes me appreciate my life so much more. And I'm just so grateful to be able to have the ability to get out there and run, and to have the ability to raise a daughter. And just, I'm just grateful. I really, truly am. And I'm just very appreciative, and I appreciate everything currently right now within my life, even the hard things that really I struggle with, and that really weigh me down. I know these are things that are only going to make me stronger, and these are events and obstacles that once I overcome, I'm only going to be better and stronger because of. So, I even appreciate these hard, tough moments and the moments where it feels like everything's falling apart. Those are the moments when you really probably need to appreciate things the most. And that's kind of what I also discovered, is when things seem like everything's falling apart, when I kind of really start to stop and really look at things and go, yes, this may be awful, this may be terrible, but I do have an amazing wife. I do have an amazing daughter. I do have an amazing family. I have amazing friends. I got, I got so much to appreciate in my life that I don't need to let one thing that's going wrong in my life dictate everything. And to touch back on yesterday's podcast, I don't need it to dictate everything and to alter my attitude. So, appreciate, guys. That is today's episode. Today is a really long episode. I did not expect it to do this. So, appreciate for today, guys, for your daily discipline. I really want you to go out there, and I want you to really appreciate every single day. Appreciate today. Like, value. I mean, even if you didn't do much, maybe you didn't take advantage of your day, but you still had this day. And I think a lot of us, again, take our lives for granted. It's so easy to fall into that kind of mentality of taking our lives for granted because we got so much things stimulating our brains. But for your daily discipline today, guys, it is to really appreciate what we have within our lives. Everything around you. Maybe you do have lots of video games and you play them all day. Like I said, be appreciative of that, because there's a lot of people throughout the world that don't even have that opportunity. So whatever it is you are doing with your life, really appreciate it, and maybe do something within your life that you can really appreciate. Maybe you don't appreciate things. Maybe you don't value things because we do live in such a great place where everything is at our disposal. Maybe your thing is you need to find something to appreciate. So maybe you need to get out there and do something that's worthwhile that can bring you that gratitude, and that would be your daily discipline for the day if that is how you were kind of feeling. But maybe if you do have things and you do have things you appreciate, and then your daily discipline is just to really appreciate them and take advantage of each and every day that you have, because these days are limited. Other than that, guys, I do want to close this episode out. Kind of went a little bit longer than I planned, so thank you so much for following along and listening. This is episode 190 of the Defining Discipline podcast. I am your host, Scott. If you guys can, please give this podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube, our TikTok, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been following along and listening on. And other than that, I shall see you guys tomorrow for episode 191. Thank you so much for following along and listening. I appreciate and I'm appreciative of you guys listening and following along, and again, of the ability to even do this, to have the ability to just record and talk about this and my journey, and eventually have some guests on here. I'm just grateful, and I appreciate every single moment that I have. So thank you guys for following along with these moments and with these days and with this journey in general. So I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 191. Other than that, take it easy. Get your daily discipline done. If you guys can, go get some donations done for the Detroit Phoenix Center, and click that share button. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Episode 191. Peace out.